Green Bay police say nearly a dozen people have fallen prey to an immigration scam, collectively costing tens of thousands of dollars. Scammers are targeting the local Latino population, saying they can speed up the processing of legal paperwork to obtain U.S. citizenship. Police say anyone promising that ability is a scammer and should be ignored. Officers believing there might be additional victims who are uncomfortable coming forward. Anyone who's had contact with someone claiming to help with immigration is asked to contact Green Bay Police or submit a report through Crime Stoppers.